Guys, the last couple days, hell, this last entire week has been non-stop insane when it comes to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And it's going to get even crazier tonight because at 8 p.m. Eastern time, I am going to be going live to get ready for the TGS showcase that's coming for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. TGS is going on right now and it is day 3. And apparently they have some more stuff that they want to showcase to us in relating to the game as a whole. So that's going to be exciting. The actual event itself does not start until 11:59 EST tonight, but we will be live 3-4 hours earlier to just hang out and talk about what the hell we just might be seeing. So if you guys are in California, it is 9 p.m. PST when the TGS event will be starting, but I will be streaming it at 5 p.m. PST your time. Just to clarify that. On top of that, there's actually an even more insane discussion that the more I think about is kind of wild. I did a stream yesterday. And I had a conversation with my chat about the world map, or what we know of the map so far from based on the demo for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Within the discussions, and if we go to this article right here, for more crazy Final Fantasy VII videos and insane topics like this that you guys can participate in, consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell, guys. It helps raise that 11% only subbed percentage even higher. And we got a lot of stuff coming your way that you don't want to miss out on, especially that stream later tonight. And now with that being said, let's get into the video. They interviewed Hamaguchi saying, speaking of that world map and that expanded play space, is that something that's all interconnected, or is it more of a world map system where you can travel to different regions at any time? And basically Hamaguchi details it, and I'll read the whole thing in full. That's a great question and something that I really wanted people to ask me. What we've done is we've taken the world map from the original FF7, but we created it all in a 1-to-1 real scale. So all the dungeons, all the cities, everything in that world is now included in that same space. One seamless map. To add a little bit more detail, because that's how the world is constructed, but a little bit more on how you'll actually be exploring the world, I think that when you look at open world games with really big seamless worlds like that, there's only 2 ways that games like that let you explore those worlds. The first one is that they kind of throw you into the map basically from the beginning, or you can go anywhere, do anything in any order, and you're free to approach it in however you want, which is kind of like Breath of the Wild games. And in the second kind of game, you kind of start in a fairly wide, expansive area where you can explore within that, but then as the story progresses, you actually get more abilities to access different areas, which will open up and the world just grows and grows until you've got the full world in the end. And obviously you can go back to previous explored areas and you'll find maybe new quests, new content, which has appeared because of the story progression. Obviously, he went into like super extreme detail on that second one because that's actually what FF7 Rebirth is. He actually details that right here. And Rebirth is actually the second type. So when you open up the game, there's still a fairly large area to explore at the beginning. But then as you continue your quest, it expands further and further and you get more regions you go to. And then at any time, you can go back to the other regions you've been to before because it is a seamless map and you can find new quests, new bits of stories, which have appeared in there as you go along. So that's generally just not how the world is, but how you'll be exploring it, which is very exciting. Like, seeing what we've seen so far between Maximilian Dude, Baby Seal, all the other content creators that got to go and play the game, their footage of the game, their play area was essentially this. And actually, I'll highlight it right here just to show you guys. All of this right here that I circled is what it seems that Baby Seal and Maximilian Dude and many other content creators were able to play within, to explore and check out. Like, this is the little island that he went on. This is the areas that, as you walk around areas, you ungrade the map, right? As you unlock it by walking through it. So that essentially is what that is. So now when you look at the actual map, right, and it does say Junon region. By the way, shout outs to MinMax. This is MinMax's map that they were able to create from their footage. Basically what they did was they went to like all different corners of the world map in the menu that they could access, and while in there they screenshotted it and spliced and edited it together. So it's not as accurate, but it's the closest thing, right, from what they were able to see as far as like the first continent play area goes. The area that they played in was the Junon region, and I would imagine as they went around, right, this is what my thought process is. My thought process is that this is, you know, the Mithril mine that they just came out of, which is where the demo starts, and they play through in this area, they go into Junon, they deal with the boss fight, they continue through here, right, and that's it. I was thinking this area right here is near where Calm is, and the reason why I think that is because this area right here from the Summer Games Fest trailer that came out 3 months ago, they're coming out of this mine area, or what I thought was a mine area, but actually I think now it's actually the back area of Calm. Because look, as you come through here, you can kind of see the architecture back here. It's kind of like what Calm looks like from what we see at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake integrate as they're walking into it. So now if we look forward right here, we see Aerith and Red 13 are standing right outside of that area, and you see these two cliffs right here, like this one cliff that has a lighthouse at the end and this other one that has like windmills. I was thinking that's here, right? This is the one that's closest to them with the windmills, and this is the one that has the lighthouse on it. That's what I was thinking. So that means that wherever they're standing has to be somewhere within this area right here. And the reason why I was thinking that is because if you go a little bit further, right, as they start walking, you can see like these pipes running along right here. Right, there's pipes going along right over here, and it's kind of like this area, right? It looks like these pipes, it could be like this part right here as they get a little bit closer. I don't know, because I mean, it does make sense with the way that they're standing, because if you look at it, right, they're getting closer to the windmill and they're right about here. Now let's go back here, and right over here, they're getting close to one of those cliff sides, and here we go. You know what I mean? Like that's the way it looked like to me. Yes, of course, it is a demo. We're not seeing like the full entire map, and obviously it's grayed out, so we're kind of just guessing around right here. But that's just how I was like basing it off of, right? But the chat brought up a pretty interesting point that I personally did not believe, but if it is the case, then that would be amazing. This is the entire Eastern continent that you start off on in Final Fantasy VII Original, right? So this is Midgar. As you guys know, once you leave Midgar, you can go to Calm, and then after Calm, you go way up here. You go to the farm, and you go to the marsh, go through the caves, and then you make your way over to Junon, and Fort Condor is right here. We know in Rebirth, Fort Condor is an island now. It's no longer attached right here, so that's going to come at a later part of the story. And Yuffie essentially is now found inside of Junon. So this is what chat was kind of saying, right? And I mean, I feel like I see it, but I just don't know. I don't know if... because it did say 1-to-1 scale, but this is just ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. If they actually went ahead and they did it where like this area, I guess right here, you could probably say, is what this is right here. You know what I mean? Like this is massive. Just looking at this in this way. And some people were saying like this. You see how this little extension, this little like I guess peninsula of Junon that you see, and obviously Junon is much smaller in the OG game. I mean the scale wasn't. It's much more massive when you go inside of there. They're saying that's this. All of this area right here is this part right here. And I don't know. I don't believe that, man. Like I want to give the devs props. You guys made this shit like massive. But like seeing that the demo literally consisted of from this area here to this area here, I don't know. I don't think that's just this, right? Does you guys know what I mean? Like I see what they're saying, but I just don't feel like that is going to be the case. Another big thing I should also mention too is chat sent me this. This is the Ever Crisis world map of FF7. This is the Eastern continent, and this region right here is where we could expect Junon to be. As a matter of fact, let me tilt this a little bit because it's not actually when you bring up the other OG map, it kind of doesn't match if we do the mountain ranges. You see like this mountain range is kind of going like this way. If we turn it, I guess it would make more sense, right? I guess that kind of resembles it right there. So let's zoom it in from this perspective, right? So that's about the perspective right there. So now we can zoom it in. And they're thinking Junon is right here. Right? And even looking at this doesn't actually make a whole lot of sense, right? Like, I mean, it's a little too blurry to really base it off of this and really see what it actually is. I mean, I guess this could be like right here. All right, this little body of water could be the stream that goes up to this side. This opening right here, a bunch of little islands. And Junon is where? Would you say here? Yeah, it has to be like right on the edge, right? Right here, or... Nah, it can't be there. That's too close. It's like right here. We need an official map ASAP. But that's also another thing to really take into consideration too, the Ever Crisis map. And of course, Ever Crisis does have a bunch of assets from Rebirth, so that is a very great possibility. And it's like, yeah, the side content is supposed to be twice as long as the main scenario, and we're finding out new crazy stuff about the mini games and how there's a bunch of other mini games and side quests, mini games included in the side quests and throughout the world that you can participate in, and that will be absorbing a lot of your time. So this game is easily going to take over 100 hours on the first try to just get everything done. Hell, even 200 for somebody like me that just, I get sidetracked like crazy. Like I'll be walking, I'm like, oh, piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy. Now they literally have that. As you walk around, there's materials you can find. I guess chat was saying like something like this, and they were saying like, okay, you see the water right here. This is the water right there. And we did see like in Max's demo, you start off in the caves up here. This is like on the upper part of a hill. You go down, go around down here. You could actually come back up here and get into like a bunch of other fights, but you can't pass this area. If you try, it says that it's not available in this demo playthrough or whatever. But then you can go all over here, and all of this gets uncovered. You can go to you could try to go to Upper Junon, and then the guards stop you, and then you go into Under Junon, and that's where you meet Rhonda, and you interact with Priscilla, and see the whole scenario play out against Bottomswell, or Terror of the Deep is now he's called. He bottoms well, guy. Mind-blowing, if that is the case. I don't know. See, I was thinking, personally, the way I was thinking was like, okay, Midgar is like up here-ish, and obviously Junon was made to be a little bit more massive now, but Midgar is up here. Junon is much more massive now, and as you go, you can kind of see like the pipes, like the Mako pipes leading from, I guess, where Midgar is to feed nearby like towns. But as you walk through here, Calm is somewhere here, somewhere around here maybe. You go through the backside of Calm, you come around here, and then there's the farm, the Chocobo farm, and then from there you got the marshes that were like right here. And then you get into the Mithril Mines, which may have multiple twists and turns and different ways to go about that. And then once you go in through the Mithril Mines, you come out like, I guess, here. But chat was also saying that this probably isn't the Mithril Mines entrance, where we see they are coming out of the cutscene there is probably a different mine. And I don't know. I mean, a lot of people are being hopeful. I'm honestly casting doubt on it, because I just don't see them being able to do that. But if they prove me wrong, I would be hella happy about it. I mean, I can see, like, you know, the way that this is designed, it does have these little like ridges and these like openings right here that kind of do fit that bill. But then again, we don't know if this actually continues, if this opens up, and I mean, it kind of looks like a cliff to me. However, I mean, we have to wait and see. Tonight's showcase, I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be a more expanded segment of the demo that we saw everybody playing. Either way, it's going to be nice to check it out. I do want to see, finally one day, a map, an actual like full uncovered map, and I hope that they do show that to us, because they've said it's 3 different continents. They said we have the Eastern continent, then there's the Western continent that has Gold Saucer, Cosmo Canyon, Nibelheim, Rocket Town, etc., and then there's the Northern continent where the Northern Crater is, but also the forgotten capital of the ancients, and the forest, and Icicle Inn, which Icicle Inn probably most likely won't be in Rebirth. That'll probably be a part 3 thing, because that does take place after disc 1, if they're going in that route, but we don't know because things are changing up. But yeah, I think that's a really interesting topic. I hope that gets figured out today, but I wanted to put this video out to ask you guys, what do you think? What do you think? If you guys have a general idea, please feel free to tweet it at me, BltzZ or BltzZ. I really want to know. I really want to know what you guys think, and I find this topic to be so interesting, and I don't care if I'm wrong. Like, let me just say that outright. I don't care if I'm wrong. I would love to be wrong. I just don't believe in the fact that they'd be able to do this. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see it, but I'm a little bit of a skeptic on this. Comment below, let's get a discussion going. Be sure to like the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy videos are on the way, and we got a crazy week ahead of us that you don't want to miss out on. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.